I am proud of my kids. I'm proud of how hard those kids fought. I think we played well enough to win. There was a pitch here, or a call here, or something here that really made the difference. The parity this year in that tournament was phenomenal. I mean, you had a lot of parity in terms of talent, and then you had the will of a lot of teams getting after it. It was fun. It was a fun environment. I said before we left that we were going to get after each other, and that's exactly what happened. And we put ourselves in a position to win. And as you know, as you go through this stuff, sometimes it goes your way and sometimes not. But I'm proud of my kids. I'm proud of how they played. I'm proud of how hard they went after it. The loss to South Alabama really was, I told Kevin last night, it was gut-wrenching. And I didn't like nothing about it. How it happened, surprised. Y'all didn't ask Sarah the obvious question. I asked her. And it was gut-wrenching, and those kids came back the next morning with resolve and fight, and they laid it on the line. And that's the way it's going to be in a regional. It's going to be even more magnified. You know, it's going to be the same thing. So, as you get there, you understand that you can win every game, but you also can lose every game. And you also realize that the outcome of every game is going to be decided by 1, 2, 3, 4 pitches. 1, 2, 3, 4 calls. That the margin of error as you proceed becomes so slim. And everybody there is willing to fight. Everybody there is willing to lay it on the line. Everybody there has a dream to move on. And it comes down to a break, execution, a call, a decision. That's what makes it fun. That's what makes it fun. And if you're a true competitor, that's what all the weight room workouts are for. That's what all the bus rides are for. It's what all the sacrifices for. It's to be in an opportunity and have an opportunity that's now in front of us. So, I'm ready. Our team's excited. The community's going to be excited because we're close. You're going to have an opportunity to be involved in the experience, and we need our fans. We need the community behind us. And we still have a week of preparation. There's some things that we have to go take care of this week that we're going to. And just enjoy the experience. They've earned it. They deserve it. They're champions in my eyes, and they always will be. And now we have another goal in front of us, another dream in front of us, and it's time to go chase it.
I guess if that's the case, did she touch first?
She touched first. There's no question about it. And, you know, this is the deal. This is the way I am, right? They tell me not to address it, and I'm gonna. I mean, you have 2 pitchers throwing no-hitters. Pretty phenomenal game. I mean, Jordan was on fire, and so was the kid from South Al. Obviously, when you have a situation where both kids are locked in and their stuff is good, you realize that the zone may be in the pitcher's favor a little bit. True, Stevie, you were there. Dan, you were there. But they were given a little in and out. And Shelly Landry, I thought it won the game, you know, and whatever hit that was, that she squared one up and hit it to dead center, and the kid caught it at the fence. And then Sarah comes up and really gets a good swing on a good pitch, a leadoff double. And what disturbs me about the call is a couple things. We were just talking about it in is number one, there was no play at second. She went into second standing up. There was no play on her. And secondly, there was this dialogue that went on for about 2 minutes between the South Alabama bench, which was in the first base dugout, and the umpire for 2 minutes before the appeal, where they were talking about or trying to convince him that she missed the bag. Went on for at least a couple minutes, where you just heard him, yeah, you missed the bag. And then, as they made the appeal, 2 minutes later, he makes the call. And I heard Steve say this morning on the radio, and it's exactly what I asked him. That's why you're the genius, Steve. Coach said, you know, I know you're going to tell me she missed the bag, but the question becomes, surely you're going to tell me that it was obvious. You're not going to tell me that it was very close or less than an inch. And of course the answer was it was very close. That's disturbing to me. So with that said, you know, was that a call that affects the game? Yes. Is the same thing going to happen this weekend? Yes. I mean, I've done this for 13 years. I've been in 13 regionals. That was that's a team that's ranked 13. They got a #1 seed in the country. And we're going to go up against teams that are as good and as prepared as they are. And it's going to come down. It's going to come down to that. It's going to come down to one call, one hit, one situation. If you just start an inning off with a leadoff double against a pitcher who's throwing a no-hitter, that's the situation that you want to be in. That's the situation that you work to get in the whole game. So it's gonna. You ask what did we learn from it? It's the same deal. Did we give up after that? No. Did we think we weren't going to win? No. I mean, our kids kept fighting, but when you have teams that are that evenly matched, it always comes down to an error, a missed pitch, a missed call, something freaky, base running mistake, coach doing something goofy. I mean, every decision becomes so magnified, every pitch becomes so important because that could be the pitch that makes the difference. And that was one of the pitches that made a difference to me in the game. And then, of course, the other pitch in the inning that they scored, we struck out the #9 hitter Campbell on the screw, and he'd been giving her the pitch. He'd been giving Campbell from Alabama the pitch all day long, and then he decides for the first time in 10 innings for 3 hours that he's not going to give it. Those two pitches are the difference between whether you win or you don't. And so people tell me, well, yes, we should have done a better job swinging the bat. We could have done a better job in that situation. I disagree. Our kids played their hearts out. They played as hard as they could play. And if you put those two teams and you match them up 10 more times, it's going to come down to 1 or 2 pitches or 1 or 2 calls again. I guarantee you.
All that being said, we talked about how tough the Sun Belt tournament was going to be, and it obviously lived up to that with the extra inning games and just the kind of the dip and tuck. That being said, what did it say about the Sun Belt Conference as a whole? And 2, how much did that really prepare you for that magnification that you talked about for regional play?
Well, I think that those 3 teams, us, South Alabama, Western Kentucky, were playing to be the champions of our conference. In a lot of conferences nowadays, that doesn't mean anything. The format's not set up like that. I don't think we're playing for the bid. I think we're playing to represent our conference as champions. And those teams were getting after each other. And what's that say about the conference? I don't know. What it says about our kids and our programs are that our kids are fighters and they want to be the champions of the conference. And that was what was on display to me.
Coach, going back to the call, and I know you kind of just spoke to each one of the officials at one time or the other during the process, and I forgot which lost track of which one you were talking to at the time, but it almost looked like from the video feed that you asked him did they see it, and he said he didn't see it.
No, he said he saw it.
You saw it?
I'm not questioning the integrity of the call. I mean, I just explained what I'm questioning, and I just, in that situation, it was curious. And you know, I'm sure from his angle, he saw her miss the bat. From her angle, she hit the bat. And I'm sure if she swore in under oath, he would say she missed the bat, and that's why he made that call. And I don't question that. That's what his eyes saw. But I also don't question my player, that she felt her foot hit the bat. You know, we're all human, right? I mean, he's gonna miss calls. Sarah is goofy. I don't know if y'all know that or not. She's very goofy. She can miss a bat. Trust me. She can miss a ball. She can do some goofy stuff. So can I. I mean, we're all human. We're all human, and we all do goofy stuff. And it was just curious that in that situation, that's what we came to. And a lot of it, in my judgment, this is my big point that I'm trying to make, not only to the umpires, but our conference and our coaches and our league. Don't try to play with the integrity of the game to influence a call where it is not justified. That's my opinion.
Coach, moving on and talking about your first opponent.
And when they do, when they do it, you should resist. In your mind, you should know that there's an ulterior motive, and you should resist it. The integrity of the game ought to come first to me. Always. Always. We all want to win, but the integrity of the game ought to come first. And sometimes how you win matters too, to me.
Coach, moving on and talking about your first opponent that you're going to face in Regional Northwestern, they've had a lot of changes from the time that you guys have faced on their roster, and so are you familiar with some of the new faces that they have on that team?
Well, I'm getting more and more familiar as we go, you know. And I am friends with Donald, and I respect what he's done with that program. He and I spent a lot of time on the road recruiting together. He's done a good job resurrecting that program. He's a hard worker. They're going to come get us. And I understand what kind of coach he is, and how hard they work, and what kind of program they build. And that one's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun game. The old wars, Coach Robichaud could talk to that too, the old wars between us and Northwestern in the good old days, those were always fun, and they were always hard fought. And a lot of times we'd get out of there with a one-run victory, or a walk-off, or something crazy like that, and you get on the bus and just crank the bus and get on out of there.
Coach, did anything that Jordan or Victoria did in this past weekend influence how you will use them in Friday and/or Saturday since this weekend?
In my mind, I've already started playing with the different scenarios of what we can do or should do. This is the bottom line. I guess this is what I'm going to come to. What decision I ultimately make is not going to determine whether we win or don't win. It's going to be the fact that my kids have to believe. They have to believe in it, and they have to go execute it. And we have to make sure that they're prepared to be in that situation. But last year, I think in the Stanford game, the count, I don't even remember the count, was 0-2 or something crazy like that, and I walked in the middle of the batter and changed pitchers. Everybody said, that's pretty unorthodox, and it was. But the reason why it worked was because those kids made it work. So it's not so much about the decision, about who's going to go and when they're going to go, and all that good stuff. It's more about those kids believing in the decision, being part of that decision-making process, and then going and executing. And I believe in my staff, and as Jordan said when she came up here, the plan is going to be to go win the region. That's going to be the mindset. When we look at the rotation, we're going to do it with that in mind. And when we went there in 08, last time we went to the World Series, and we played East Carolina in game 1, and I threw Don Bourgeois in game 1 before we came back with Ashley Brinback. It may be in a situation where if we think that's a good matchup that we can do that, or I'm also prepared to go back to back. That's going to be one of the tough calls.
What did you see? What did you see from Victoria that was maybe different, or was it just kind of maybe everything kind of clicked for her? Was there anything different, or was it just kind of business as usual and it maybe was magnified just because of the construct?
I think it was different. I think her ball was breaking. I think she found a different spin. She's been one-dimensional. I mean, we know she throws hard, but she's been one-dimensional the whole year. Just to contact. But she found a new spin that worked and was effective. And then the thing that's still concerning is that she didn't miss a lot of bats. She was still relying on her defense. And then late in the game, she got the ball up in the zone and put a couple home runs. So she still has some work to do. But you see steady progress every time out.
And for the team, this has been the 4th time in 8 years that you're at the LSU Regional. Just talk about the environment, just the added UL, LSU, the fan bases, I'm sure, just your recollections from just those times.
Well, I've been fortunate to be in a regional venue for all those times. And I think if you just talk about a regional venue, no matter where it is, it's special. It's a special. I mean, here last year, our place was special. You know, the time that we were in Austin, it was a special environment. And when you get to, I think just the fact that you're interregional and that the stakes are higher. Exactly what I was just talking about. The level of competition is so balanced and even. And that you know that on any given pitch, the game ends in the balance. It heightens the intensity. It creates a better focus. The stakes are higher. So I think no matter what, the venue is special. And add on the fact that it's in Baton Rouge and it's closer for our fans. So now they can all be there with us, which we need them. We need our